Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Angela. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And I'm going to move on now to my disclaimer. If you are in immediate danger, please call 911 or reach out to the domestic hotline at 800-799-7233, 800-799-SAFE. And I have a new disclaimer that I'm going to add today because it's going to tie in with the subject that I'm going to be talking about. It's Nami or Nami, and the number is 800-950-6264, 800-950-NAMI. And you can also text Nami at 741741. Again, 741741. And with that being said, I will start talking about self-evaluation. You know, now that you have left a relationship and you're all alone with, if you have children, with your children, or you're by yourself, you're in a new place, new surroundings. He may still be calling and trying to convince you to come back, but we know that we have made it out, so we're not going to go back. I mean, there's nothing he can say to make you go back. But what I want you to understand is you need to get some help for yourself. And there's a few ways you can do that. You can talk to someone, talk to a friend, talk to a pastor at the church, or you can talk to the Mental Health Association, which is National Allowance on Mental Illness. And I'm not saying that you are crazy or you have real bad issues. People like to make it seem that when you are looking or trying to take care of your mental status, that something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. You're doing the best thing for yourself. Just as if you were sick, you would go to a medical doctor. So you also need to get some kind of mental illness help if you can't figure this out by yourself. What I did was I went to God, I prayed, I stayed true to my faith and my spiritual upbringing. So that helped me a lot. And I did writing. I started to write poetry. I did a little writing while I was in a relationship, but I really started to write. It was a great tool for me. It helped me. And I will share some of the poetry that I wrote, not today, but I'll come back again and share something with you all. But that helped me a lot. So whatever, you know, writing, painting, reading, whatever can help you. But if there's something that's really gnawing at your mental, and the little simple things that I just mentioned is not helping, don't feel ashamed. Go talk to someone. Talk to a therapist. There's nothing wrong with that. They have tools that they have tools that can help you get out of this. They were trained to help you get out of this. So there's nothing wrong with getting mental health. So, but I wanted to point out a few signs that may have gotten you in this relationship to start with. I took a few notes. The first one, you could have been a child that grew up in a household where you saw your parents fighting all the time. Your father abusing your mother never leaving a relationship, you growing up, and this is just a part of what you saw, and it became normal to you. So your mother never left a relationship, your father never stopped fighting. Even in old age, they are still in this relationship. He may not be hitting her as much, but he still talks down to her or make her feel a certain way, and her self-esteem is completely gone. It's no longer low, she has none. So you may have been in a relationship like that. So with that, that's the first sign of you as a person gravitating to a relationship that you grew up in, or even as a person being abusive to the person that you're in a relationship with. So that's something that you'll want to stop and break. And for that, I would suggest that you do get some mental counseling, see a therapist. Try to fix this, because you don't have to stay in this situation because you saw this as a child. The second one is being young and not understanding the signs of an abusive relationship. That's what I was in. I was young. I got with my person at 20 and had my first child at 21. So everything in my relationship, he said the right things. He was a very loving person at the beginning. He treated me well, and just made things seems like this was it seemed to me like a fairy tale come true. When I brought him around to see my mother, immediately she told me this wasn't the right one. But as I said, I was grown. I had moved out of the household, I had moved out of my childhood home when I was 18. I had my own place. I was working, and I was taking classes. So I felt like I was doing everything a grown-up should do. But when I met this person, things, I never was the type of person that wanted to party a lot. I was a real homebody type person. I like to go out and have fun with my friends. I did a little traveling when I was young. But running the clubs and drinking and doing all of that, that wasn't me. So I was, as they would say, the girl next door. I had it in my mind that I wanted to get married, have a family, and be a good housewife. That's what I wanted to do. So that's what I tried to do with this person that I met. But he wasn't the right person, and my mother knew that. But me being grown, I didn't listen. I took matters in my own hands. And we often do that, and there's nothing wrong with it. I believe that everybody has their own path to follow, and that was my path. So it led me to where I am today. So I'm thankful for everything that I've went through. I'm thankful that God brought me out of it unscathed and unharmed. And I'm thankful that I'm here to be able to share this with you. And then also the third thing that I wrote down was savior complex. Once I got into this relationship and I realized that it wasn't the right one, I was too embarrassed to admit that I had made a mistake. So I thought that I could fix him. If I just stayed and if I helped him, I could fix him. As we know, we can't do that. We are not the savior, so we can't fix anyone. We have to give that to God and pray for that person and move out of the relationship as soon as we can. But I didn't do that. It took me a while. So these are some of the self-evaluations that I wrote down. We sit back and we try to think, I don't understand why I subjected myself to this. And don't beat yourself up for it. There's reasons behind it. Once you find the root of your problem, you can understand how to deal with it. As I said, I did poetry. I started to take care of myself more. I looked at my children that I had. I wanted the best for them. I didn't want them to ever see a relationship that I was in. I didn't want them to grow up thinking, I have 2 sons, so I didn't want my sons to grow up thinking that's the way a woman should be treated. I didn't want my daughter to think that this is what she had to accept and this is what she had to settle for. So moving them out of the relationship as quickly as I did, help them to grow up and be healthy. I'm thankful to say that my children are very wise. They know BS right away. They see it right away. And I grew up with my children, so to speak. I was a young mother, and I taught them things that they would, experience. I showed them that if someone is doing this, this is not right. we talked about things and they understood. So that was also my way of healing myself. You know, I never talked bad about their father. I never made him out to be the villain to them. They saw things when they grew up with their relationship with them, because one thing I'll say, if the person is not sexually abusing your kids or physically or mentally abusing your kids, then and he can have a decent relationship, then go ahead, allow it. But also monitor the relationship. Make sure that you put your children first. Go to the courts if you have to, do whatever it takes, but don't allow them to be in a situation that's abusive. So if this person has any of those traits, your children will see it. They'll come back and they'll tell you, and that's when you step in. You know, my kids, they have a relationship with him the way that they have him. I told my children to accept him for who he is. Don't try to change him, but don't lay down your values. Don't set aside who you are just to have a relationship with this person. So they understood that. And like I said, my children are well off. They are very healthy mentally, and they don't have issues when it comes to relationships, you know, and that's something to be proud of. I can say that that cycle was broken. I didn't start, and I can say it was broken from the beginning. I didn't start a cycle, and my children are not in a relationship where they can't get out of, or where they can't talk to me. I'm proud to say that my children talk to me about all their relationships, whatever it is. And that's a good thing. You want to have open communication. I didn't have that because, as you know, my mother passed during my relationship. Early part of my relationship, she passed. So there was no one to talk to. So I felt alone and I felt helpless. But now, you know, I just want others to know that you're not alone. You're not helpless. You may not have family you can go to. You may not have friends you can go to, but you do have resources you can use. And Nami is a good resource. Sorry about that. I was saying that Nami is a good source that you can look into to help you with your self-evaluation. You know, we all make mistakes. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't sit there and say that you're a failure and that you'll never get out of this. You have to change your way of thinking. Once you change your way of thinking, things will get better for you. I'm here to say that they will. You know, your outlet can be writing, poetry, doing art, hanging out with friends, just being self-aware of what you need as a person. And with that being said, I'm going to end this today, and I will see you again soon. I hope you enjoyed this. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Bye.